Dr. Forbath, tell me how you learned what to wear with what and how gentlemen should be dressed and what age you should wear, what was appropriate.
I probably can talk about these things. Although it was not made before 1945, but as I was a very conservative man, I did like to dress the way it was 10 or 15 years ago. But this would have been the fashion up until World War II. I think this suit, you will be surprised at why are two different pants made for the same type of suit. Now, on a Sunday, you usually went in the morning to church. Then you had to wear a suit. So this was a suit. But then you wanted to go and make an excursion to the forest or a little bit hiking on the hills. At that time, a long pair of pants would have been uncomfortable, for which reason, after church you went home, and you had to put something on which you could hike, so to say, and that is why the breeches were made. So the breeches were made in the Sunday you went out. You could ask me, why did you have to wear the same material of breeches? Because it is possible that before we went for the hiking, we went to grandmother. And then we still had to be dressed. For which reason we went to church in long pants, then we went home. We changed into the breeches, and we were still suit. And that only meant from here on we are going to make a little bit hiking, and this was permitted.
This suit has been relined too.
So this has to be in the 50s.
It was relined here, yes, because you have a snazzy material in it.
Yes. It was considered to be, you had to be very well dressed. You had to be always adequately dressed. You had to be elegant, but you should not be a peacock. I remember my mother, she always said, clothing does not make the man. But then she had just a little bit. So I was, by my mother, certainly quite a bit instructed. But the important part, it had also a chapeau, I don't know where it is.
Right.
If we go out of the house, we had to be like dolls in a box. So it had to be well dressed and everything had to fit. If it wasn't, we would be called back. This is not right. And even today, I would not like to go out, and I would not like if somebody would see me not appropriately dressed. So even if I'm at home all by myself, I would like to have everything done. For which reason I truly do not need any more a suit or another pair of pants. But I go to Hungary, I cannot resist. So.
And these are all Mr. Laszlo, right?
Yes.
How did you find Mr. Laszlo? How did you end up with him?
In 1945, when I had to have the suit made, of which I talked, which had the shirts as a lining, we were looking for a tailor, and somehow somebody said he's a very good tailor, and I know even his address and everything, and it was in one of the not very, how would I say, fashionable part of Budapest, and he was a tailor who made suits, were made to measure. And this was in Hungary at that time a profession.
His prices were reasonable, expensive, or...
No, he was very inexpensive. So that is why the more expensive tailors, they had a tailor shop, and some of them were at the most fashionable streets in Hungary. he who worked on a not expensive part of Hungary, and he had his sewing machine in the kitchen. So there was not even a room which was his workshop. This suit is a very similar suit to the suit which we discussed. But I wanted to show you that this we wore to the church. Then when we changed to the hiking type of thing, we had to wear a hat. So usually when the material was bought, the tailor said how much material to buy all these things. And he sent it to a hatcher, then they measured the hat, and it was a chapeau made because this is the way we went for hiking, this is the way we went to the church.
Here, this is English fabric. Do you know about this?
Yes, I think this fabric, I think it is silk and wool. This would be silk and wool. Later on, he made in all the long pants an inside pocket. That was for traveling. The paper money you did not have in your wallet, but you had it something here. And that was because it was always considered to be you should keep your money in a safe way. Now you probably could see these well. The fly is still made with buttons.
Yeah.
It is not with zippers.
Right.
You know.